Okay, I thought I'd do a video real quick, um, to, what is it, describe something that I think is, disturbing. Um, Something to protect the rich people or whatever. That's the only, thing that I can come up with in my head. And they think that they're protecting society, but in reality, I don't I don't see how they are. Like unless you're talking about enough land where like you can take a helicopter on like Fun with Dick and Jane, like you can take a helicopter and then you come down in some on some like island or some shit or like some place like uh that is like a fortress, like with dudes like the Umbrella Corporation or something, or you like land in like a fucking there's like a piece of land that like opens up and then it closes back up again or some shit, and like you're in like an underground uh something whatever I don't know, something weird, where like the idea of complete societal collapse or whatever and having to deal with people like right in front of your face, that's not a it's not an issue for these people for some reason. Like they think that like if they do things like this, like that shit will never happen, or they're prepared for it, like with what I just was saying. I'm watching RT, and dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Besides the Chinese, well, to be honest with you, right now, like everybody's a fucking asshole. Um, Anybody with money, that is. Um, Besides the Chinese, uh, the second worst offenders, I would say, uh, are the Russians. I'm watching that Boyko chick. I erased these videos. I made good videos, uh, making fun of them. I don't know if anybody saw those videos, but what is it, dude? She shows a school bus. I can't, dude. There's like gotta be the last three in that worlds apart bullshit video that she makes. Like after she's like had her like caffeine or like whatever she does, like yoga or like whatever, she makes her little video or whatever, some bullshit video. Um, it's like she's talking about like a school to prison pipeline or whatever, right? Where like you have a ruling class of people, um, you know, managing society or whatever, managing money up in their 50-story high-rise buildings or whatever, looking down at all the poor people. And like that's the only way I can describe it. Like instead of creating a society where like everyone is included, like you have people managing, um well, I mean the way I think she's looking at it is that there's only so much land or whatever and like so much food or whatever. Um Dude, just in the idea of revitalizing the country in regards to green jobs. And then, dude, you want to know something? You don't create people that, like me or whatever, that have this idea of not being a part of society constantly in their head. Do you understand? Like, if you had some shit, you decide who's going to be born and who is not going to be born, okay? That's a completely different thing, because with people like that, they have no conception of what is going on. They don't have a conception of like an idea of like a school to prison pipeline or whatever. It's not an idea that enters their mind. Whether or not they go to prison while they're in school, or whether they get out and because you gave them all like F's or whatever, they can't get a fucking job and then they go to fucking prison or whatever, and they can't navigate like stock market apps. They put their money in the app, and then all their money is gone like the next week or whatever. And then you regulate all these other fucking technologies or whatever, right? Like they put something on eBay and it doesn't sell. Okay? And that's basically the situation that they find themselves in, right? So they go, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do to be able to survive or live however I want to live? Should I, maintain some compost a pile? Should I make sure that the diodes on the charging station is not rusted? Should I make sure that the toilet's working? Should I make sure that the chickens are fed? Should I make sure that the fish are a bit fed? Should I make sure that the solar, the batteries are charged? Should I make sure that the bread is whatever it is? Like they don't have any. It's like you've created. Do you want to know something? Like I can honestly say, it seems to me like you create these people for your own amusement, which is like, dude, tell me some shit on the whole idea of being productive in society. Like with what I'm trying to say, like everything under the sun that you can imagine. That's not like you should say, oh, you should look at them and say, you should point your finger at them and say, oh, that lady is not valuable because she's not, okay? And so are like all these other people. They don't. Do you want to know something? Especially these Russians, if they think that they're gonna exist as like some sort of parasite class or whatever that feeds off the living, or some sort of vampire class that feeds off the living, regardless of whether you think that I'm living or not, okay? And they create like a slave class, like Morpheus. He's got that thing in the Matrix where he's like, you turn a human into this or whatever. He shows a battery. It's like, you want to know something? That is the most fucked up thing. It's like those Russians, especially those Russians, they're like the machines in that movie, The Matrix. Okay? And what do? They fucking just yap their mouths and go get whatever they want. It's like, you got entrepreneurs like me or somebody else or whatever in the shit fucking trying to do this. That shit is, dude, you want to know something? Especially with different situations that are going on or whatever with those Ukrainians and shit, like they're better than who the fuck ever. They're not. Okay, so I don't even know, like, because they go to like an Orthodox church or whatever, like Russians do. So you go, oh, they're somebody like Putin. You go, oh, you don't fuck with them because they're part of the same religion as we are or whatever. Besides it being like Ukrainian or some bullshit like that. Yeah, I really haven't figured that out yet. Besides like the fact that that's totally legit what I just said. But the whole idea that they don't produce, dude, Russia doesn't even produce anything. They don't produce shit. They don't do anything. They're just like a suck. You talk about a suck on society, dude. Like if that's the way that we're viewing the world, dude, I got news for you. Get rid of Russia, the country of Russia, and have like China absorb that fucking country. Okay? And then we're off to the fucking races or whatever. If you're talking about, dude, if you're talking about viewing the world, okay, in regards to like, is this producing value in society? Is it going to produce value in society? Whatever the fuck it is, right? And then judging it based on that alone or whatever, that mentality, whatever you want to say. Dude, like I can honestly, dude, I've been in Russia. I physically went there. Dude, don't tell me some shit like I can't fucking voice my opinion on like what the fuck it is. Dude, who is to anyone to say that I am not giving somebody more value than some other fucking idiot that he's like he invented Ethereum or whatever, and then once you convert your fucking dollars to Ethereum, your dollars turn into Ethereum or whatever. Okay, because I fucking did that the other day. What a fucking joke that is. The shit, or I should say, evaporadium or whatever, dude. Seriously, this shit is just, dude. I don't honestly like, and the whole thing to do with the helicopters. I was just thinking about that, dude. Like, if you have planned things out to a point where you're prepared for like society to completely fucking collapse in order to terrorize people and create this unequal society, obviously you have come to the conclusion, think about this, that there's enough land to do anything. You've come to, there's enough money, you have enough money and enough land to do anything that you could conceivably want to do. And then you're gonna stand and tell somebody, oh, there's not enough land, there's not enough water, there's not enough food, there's not enough lithium or whatever the fuck it is. We only can have this amount of people, and basically we have to terrorize these other people and then murder them eventually or whatever. This is the way we have to live. We have to live this way or whatever, because we didn't plan ahead to tell people that they can't have two kids or whatever, and we have exactly the amount of people that we need. Dude, like, I can't help to think, dude, like, if you think about it, what I'm saying more than anything is you're creating way more suffering than you have to create. That is a cold hard reality that that I think is blatantly fucking apparent. You're creating, whether it's the fucking Holocaust or whether it's like some other school to prison pipeline bullshit or whatever, dude, you're definitely creating more problems or whatever than you have to create. Because think about it, if the government can do whatever the fuck they want, they can tell people that you can't have a second child. And if you do have a second child, they just say, okay, we're going to fine you $250,000 or some shit, okay? And put you in debt for the rest of your life or whatever. Dude, if they're doing this shit with coronavirus, don't tell me some shit they can't do something like that, because they probably can. Seriously. And this manageable situation or whatever, but do you want to know something? I don't even think that's what the situation is. I think you're looking at the idea of blacks and Asians and shit telling these elite groups of people with helicopters what the fuck to do. And if they don't do it, they'll just kill them all. So that's my fucking take on what is going on. Okay.